And we do have Cyanide, like I said, starting the ganks off, initiating from outside range of wards, and if they can get that ability to get an early oracles and gank with Nocturne from very far away, you have Ash Arrow across the map and Kenning slicing Maelstrom. So there's a good amount of CC there to shut down the kiting of Dignitas. As I was saying before, they can get out of the battle really easy. We'll have to see what happens. Looks like we may have a level 1 here, D-Man.
Yeah, you can see Dignitas going in, but they're actually walking straight over that ward. And all they've done is managed to sneak that ward onto the Wraiths, or not so sneaky, as they may think, looking like they're going to possibly go for the invade up towards the top. You can see the pings go down over on the red. Meanwhile, Dignitas have backed away, getting in position. Using that awesome Nautilus skin as well, I will dominate.
It is good.
It is one of my favourite ones. But we do have Fnatic on a small 3-man rampage.
And they are going to counter Jungle Nautilus. They are going to take this, possibly if they feel comfortable, move down to red. We do see that Skara is kind of throwing down some Qs, making sure they're not anywhere. They're going to guard these Wraiths, or I think they're going to take the Wraiths. Yep, they're going to take them, get a little bit of XP there. Voyboy is going to be able to roll through, go top lane with a little bit more gold and experience.
Okay, so interesting. So they're giving the Wraiths across to Voyboy. Voyboy wisely avoiding maybe the damage that he's. They are going to take red. They are going to take red. They've pulled it towards the bush. They've pulled it all the way around the backside. And actually, you know what? Voyboy is going to completely miss that. I'm not too sure whether they realised it was happening or not, but it will go towards Cyanide. So that's a quick early invade. Let's have a look down the bottom. So as the lanes shape up, you can see Lamia, Melisande on Janna and Ash down the bottom lane versus Nunu and Corki. So a little bit of a lack of sustain there. Meanwhile, in the middle, it's going to be Cassiopeia versus XPK on Twisted Fate. Skara obviously on Cassiopeia. Keep my eye on I will dominate at the moment. Remember, these guys can hear us on stage. It is only around about 30-second delay, I believe. It's very hard to tell, so we don't want to give too much away. We will just try and call it as we see it. We can see the blue buff being picked up. I want keeping my eye on Nautilus here. I think they've figured out where he was. He happened to have passed straight across that wall. Twisted Fate now coming down. He's got to be careful. He didn't get caught out by Skara. Yeah, wisely backs away from any damage there.
Yep. Yeah, as Nautilus knew, as Voyboy went top, he actually pinged Golems. He said, your Golems are gone, so you're going to have to do something tricky here. And actually, right after that, they started invading that bottom jungle. A little bit of aggression towards there. They got XPK out of lane for a few seconds. Not really going to do too much in the overall gameplay, but still, as long as they can keep everybody moving and worried about what's going on, you're going to have the upper hand.
Yeah, meanwhile, on the top lane, you can see Shushay being punished a little bit by Voyboy there. I thought Voyboy was taking the damage, then it quickly panned up. And you can see Shushay is actually the one taking that damage. I guess you could expect that. Obviously, the Lee Sin is pretty strong early on. Did manage to go down, pick up that little bit of experience to try and help him out, get them levels. But as it is at the moment, you can see, look, Shushay just easily eating them pots, getting all that health straight back, no problem. Starting off with boots and 3 pots. Let's have a quick look down towards the bottom here. As I say that, Voyboy pushes again, missing the Q there this time, so he's going to have to back away from that one. Just probably use the shield to dash away. The stun goes down on Voyboy. Voyboy,
great job,
will cover away from that one. Let's have a look down the bottom. How's it panning out down here? You can see, well, it's actually very, very even between the two, so no one's really out harassing the other yet.
Yeah, CS is just about the same. Nunu able to grab that bush, though, so they're able to keep the lane pushed pretty much where they want it. Lamia and Melisande not worried about the positioning either, so I'm a cutie pie in them. They do have a ward out, so they'll be all right. That ward, I believe, is about to go down. They just pinged it, so I'm going to check that. Yeah, it does not have much time. And going towards mid, we see Nautilus going to enter back into his jungle. Looks like some cards, wild cards just being chucked out here. Skara keep getting that noxious blast down onto Peke, just eating away at his life. There it is, going for Twin Fangs, getting a lot of damage down, 0.5 seconds on the cast. If her opponent is poisoned, taking full advantage of that damage.
Yeah, we're just in the top lane going back, so Lee Sin's gone back to buy Doran's blades and a couple of pots, health pots, so he's going to have to try and keep himself sustained. Actually, he's stuck in 4 health pots, so that's a burning through the cash as he's gone back to try and keep himself alive against that cannon. So what we expected to see, Piquet just using up the mana cards to keep himself topped up in the middle there. We haven't seen Nocturne coming out for anything yet. Remember, since he hit 6, we're going to be expecting some crazy ganks coming out from him. And you can see Lee Sin actually just going via I will dominate, help him out with that little shield just on the way there to help pop up his health as he goes through. So very early stages so far, no signs of any ganking, despite the fact Lee Sin is trying to keep the pressure on towards Suchet. Suchet is actually pushed on the tower, but I don't think he's going to miss out on too much CS there.
No, it's 24-21 up top, so they're kind of just trading it back and forth a little bit there. It looks like we do have a fight there coming down from Dominate onto Cyanide, and it looks like they will fight this one out as Peke coming in, trying to go for the stun, but he gets the red slow. They are going to be able to turn onto Skara, possibly the first blood here. The flash out, the fear onto Skara. He will turn, and there it is. Able to get the ignite down as well. Beautiful job there by Cyanide and Peke's awareness of the map as they come into the fight. And it looks like they will be able to pick up the first kill there. Only 1,000 gold difference in the game as we reach 6 minutes. 1 more minute, and we'll have the blue buffs up for spawning again. We'll see if either team tries to make a strategy out of that.
Yeah, meanwhile, both the top laners actually were already working their way down in parallel down the side of the map. They were ready to have a full-on engage there, but very nicely done. Switching targets as well, and a couple of flashes blown, but, you know, when you get that kill, it is all very important. So, first blood. That's going to actually put Cassiopeia a little bit back against PK in the middle lane. You can see he's just been back. Sorcerer's Boots, Doran's Ring, and double wards as well. So, he's keeping his eye on I Will Dominate there. He does not want to get caught out because, obviously, Twisted Fate, very squishy, can easily get caught out. Doesn't want to be caught in any compromising situations. So down the bottom, it is still very even between these two. 53 CS, so slight advantage to Lamia at the moment. So Lamia pushing the pace. So Fnatic are looking good in the early stages here.
You know, I'm thinking about this mid, and TF was a great pick to go against Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia, a very low mana cost champion. TF can get his mana back as well, especially if Dignitas tried to do any type of jungle invasion in blue steel. So that's a very good pick against Skara. They're doing well in mid. Right now it is 42-44, so both of them are keeping a very nice creep score there. Wild cards allowing PK to keep his distance. A good push up top by Kennen. Suchet just trying to put Voyboy into his tower here so he cannot get any of this CS. Doing a pretty good job of it. Voyboy kind of held him off there for a second with his shield, but here goes this tower trying to eat up that CS. Suchet doing a great job of keeping the poke on as well.
Yeah, keeping him stunned actually, so he can't get the CS, which is what he was working towards there. Just keep watching that a BF sword has already been bought by Ash there, so going straight back behind BF sword. No sustain with the Doran's Ring. Just keep an eye on Cyanide as well over at the blue. You can see the ward's got, Clairvoyance has gone down. They put the ward down to cover the backside. He's going to try and sneak around. Stole it as well. Skara also getting caught out. The slow went down on Cyanide, but it doesn't matter. Hawk shot from Ash there, just covering their escape. So a good steal from Cyanide, countering very, very nicely there. So Fnatic really seem to be on their game, and it's that thing of Fnatic on land showing through already.
Yeah, we got double wards down on Dragon, so both teams have vision of that. You're not going to see too much action there, especially after that little invade. Everybody's going to kind of recoup, get their health together. You're going to probably see a play or a kill be made before Dragon is contested right now. And we do have an ultimate. Xpeke is right off, or Cyanide rather, is right off the left side of mid, waiting for Scar to come in with this ulti possibly. He's going to give up on that. Nothing happening there. The jungler cannot wait too long. They will start to hurt themselves. Kind of a law of diminishing returns there.
Yeah, so red buff just been picked up by I Will Dominate. Just keeping my eye on the top lane as well as things progress. And I Will Dominate, he wants to maybe try and follow it up, but he's not going to be able to pick up that blue buff. So both blue buffs currently held by Fnatic. PK picking that one up. Will they try and go for a gank? Because they realise the top lane is pushed quite heavily by Voyboy. He is teleporting back out. So I tell you what, he's cancelled that. You know, you've got to remember, of course, we're at the stage where Twisted Fate will start to zip around the map, followed by an Ash Arrow, you know, a Twisted Fate coming in behind. It's a very deadly combo, and with Nocturne as well. But there's so much rides on this lane phase. However, so far it's working well for them. So much rides on this. They have to get the damage. They have to get the kills. And as it is, it's looking pretty good. Just keeping my eye on Twisted Fate towards the middle area. I Will Dominate now coming out towards him. Can he manage to get the knock-up? Does put the ulti out. That will cause a knock-up, but he can see he's already got that stun guard ready and waiting. Dodges very nice. He turns it in their favour. Straight towards I Will Dominate. Ash Arrow follows in. I Will Dominate in all sorts of trouble. He will go down. Can they get the second kill on Skara? He's going to have to back away. Twisted Fate using the ulti card. Oh no, it was the wrong card. That's actually gifted them back a little bit of health there. Well, you know what? A little bit too aggressive there by Fnatic, but it worked out very well.
Yeah, that was an all-out. I think that, I mean, you can always see Destiny when it goes off, but the fact that she saw him pop the ult, there was a giant aura. She's like, all right, I'm going to wait and get this kill too. But you know what? Worth it.
Worth it indeed.
Worth it.
IEM pushing down the bottom here. He's actually been caught out by Lamia. Lamia's thinking he might be able to follow up through this one. Don't forget, there's no heal really coming from them other than the one he's actually got on him, and yeah, it is up for Locust, so Locust is going to have to maybe try and heal them up. No, they're just going to go back and buy. So that BF sword obviously helping out. The Ash arrow landed, the quick burst that came out very
Voidboy
nicely
getting slicing Maelstrom on him. The ult from Kennen is down. Voidboy doing a very good job. He does have a higher CS, so he's kept himself in the fight. But there we go. Shushay saying, you shouldn't be here anymore. Trying to butt him out. But yeah, 63 to 56. You don't think a Lee Sin would be being in a Kennen in CS.
Yeah, he's been doing a very good job of pushing that lane, and he's had a few little visits from I Will Dominate just to keep Shushay on his toes. Obviously, Kennen can escape pretty quickly. So let's have a look at these two top. You can see Scara and PK. This is going to be a very explosive fight between these two. Wildcard actually landing and doing a pretty sizable chunk of damage there. He has been back and bought the Sheen as well. You can see that Scara's had to go triple Doran, so he's hurting a little bit. Hasn't been able to build up towards that Will of the Ancients just yet. Just keeping my eye on the jungler. I Will Dominate. Will he going to come around again? Probably not, but Shushay is starting to make a move. We are at the 11-minute mark, so it's only a matter of time before we start seeing some people moving for this dragon. This could well be it. However, he is going to pass straight past that ward there, so he's going to get spotted all the way on the way. You can see that PK's trying his best to bait Scara towards him. He wasn't having any of it, though.
You know, great job by I Will Dominate this game. He lost his red and his golems on top, and he's still able to keep himself in this match right now. We have level 7s and level 8s across the map, and his jungle was heavily countered. So great job there, keeping his composure. Dignitas is still doing very well in this. Fnatic pushing back in mid. Looks like Scar is going to be forced to back here because he's going to try to stop him. Just giving him a little bit of harass. Nice job.
Yeah, so ping goes down. They just realised, oh, they want a CV actually. They're trying to keep track of I Will Dominate. Just looking towards the top lane. You can
that would have been a great CV too.
It would have been a great CV. So Voidboy continuing to keep that pressure on the top.
Mid lane, double down with the Nocturne. Ulti, whoa, the ultimate from Cassiopeia shuts down Cyanide. Will he get the kill? The turret shot going off one more time, and he just missed that one. The ultimate coming out, and it looks like he's going to be able to get out of that one, saving himself very nicely with Destiny. Wow.
And meanwhile, Cyanide will go down. Oh, he hadn't quite managed to count the timer down. I think he was trying to get the distance, but he would have been caught up by Voidboy if it had escaped there, but the turret hit just catch him, and immediately Dignitas reacting on this one. Then they know, Fnatic know as well. They realize they're going to have to deal with this one. It is going to be a 4v4 situation, but you can see that Twisted Fate already down half health. He's going to instead continue pushing the tower, and while the dragon being pulled out, Clairvoyance goes down. Ash Arrow has been used as well, and I don't think this Fnatic can do a lot about this one. Maybe trying to force them to peel away from it, to let them tank the damage a little bit. Instead, they're going to dive towards PK. PK's going to surely get caught out. He will do. Goes down in amongst his. Shushay also taken down, and that has gone very badly wrong because Corki picked up a double kill, and they will get the dragon now without question. And that has certainly turned the tables a little bit for Dignitas.
Yeah, it's going to be very nice for them. Although you did want to see Fnatic challenging that, they just lost Peke in mid. So they're not really able to do much about the entire situation. They had also lost, they lost Cyanide to the turret as he went around. They saw him coming through the jungle. So that was their start for Dragon in the first place. And then to try to go for it again, you didn't have enough already, you know, they kind of lost more. It really didn't help them out too much there. That was a very risky thing to do, but they had to go for it.
They did indeed. So Voidboy has been doing, oh wow, okay, I've just got a glimpse of Corki there coming back, buying the Berserker Greaves along with that BF sword. That double kill really helped him out there. He's just propped up, and you can see the Bloodthirster already completed by Lamia with the Berserker Greaves because he didn't go for those Doran's Blades. This is one of those trail of thoughts, you know, this, everybody's, you know, Doran's Blades sort of became an almost a necessity, along with Wriggle's Lantern after Moscow 5, etc. dominated through Kiev. But again, the game is changing again for the AD carries, rushing straight towards that Bloodthirster. Just sort of going back to the old DreamHack ways.
Yeah, it's going to be scary for Lamia as well. He does have good farm, and he had that Bloodthirster early. Right now, he's matched with I'm a Cutie Pie in damage because of that Bloodthirster on top of his 3 Dorans as well. And now he actually has more. So if he is to die, then Lamia kind of resets back below I'm a Cutie Pie, which is the risk of a Bloodthirster as well.
Yeah, just keeping my eye on the two between them, poking back and forth.
Yeah, right?
Obviously didn't have the support of Nunu. Now he does come in, so Blood Boil immediately back on him, and he wards up that bush. Doesn't want to allow Melisande to get in there. Let's go back towards the middle because it's been very volatile between these two. So Twisted Fate hasn't really been able to complete too much. Did get picked off. He's 1, 2, 3 in the kills, deaths, and support kills. Meanwhile, Cassiopeia, well, you can see that helped him a great deal. He's got that Will of the Ancients complete now, and that double, the stack of Dawn's Rings earlier. I'm just seeing Amakitipa is switching his weapon around there, which is actually popping like he's buying something, confusing me a slight bit there. So Voyboy at the top, though. You know, this is actually a lane that really has kind of surprised me. Voyboy's been doing a pretty damn good job, and they are very even on CS still.
Yeah, this is one of those lanes, like you'd say. He goes in there quick. Now, the thing is the auto attack is going to do so much more damage from Voyboy, as well as his abilities to slow down Kennen's auto attack. And that hurts even more, because that's where he does his AD from, proccing that, or more damage, I should say, not his AD, but it is AD when he procs that fourth one. So it's really advantageous for Voyboy to get in there as soon as he throws that, slow him down so he can't get another fourth one. Yeah, he's going to be stunned for a second, but he has a shield.
So
looks
mid
like
lane,
down into mid, we do have the Nautilus ulti going off, and they are going to be able to take down Xpeke very nicely there. A great job by I Will Dominate to come in strong. Scarl with the blue to just continuously Twin Fang, and it looks like they're going to get just a little bit of damage on this turret as Cyanide moves strategically to stop that damage.
Yeah, very nice play from Dignitas there. They'd spotted the Twisted Fate. He was trying to run up towards the top to help out and get a gank on Voyboy at the top there. He was just getting himself positioned. They followed him up and they thought, right, actually, he's going to come back, go straight towards the middle lane. Just shout, man. Just shout. Don't point. Just shout. Locust getting the kill there, actually. I think it was Lamia that went down. Yeah, so that's Ash Call. And that's really got to be down to this Doran's Blade. Yeah, now he's put a Doran's Blade a little bit late.
And they would do. I'm a cutie pie. He's trying to farm still. His support is gone, so he's going to have to be careful, although he's only against Melisande, so he's not really taking too much damage here. And it looks like they may try to creep something up here in this top lane. He's going to go for the ulti. Yes, they will. TF just gets close enough. They stick Voyboy within turret range. That's going to ramp up each shot that it hits Voyboy. And just with the damage of the ability, he's going to be able to go ahead and take that. And he's saying, get out of here. You need me to ping again.
Yeah, back up right now. So let's have a quick look around the map. So how's things leveling up? We are sort of moving in towards the mid game, and it is very, very even between these two. Just the one dragon, which has gone to Dignitas early on after really a team fight that kind of brought them back into the game. They were in danger of losing out in the team, the straight lane phase, but that ulti from PK has helped them out considerably. He's going to get a little cheeky stun on a wild card across Skara there, trying to little harass, quite happily eat one single tower shot. You can see Cyanide meanwhile getting around, going to place that ward down the bottom, but this bottom lane is the one that intrigues me. 132 CS for Corki, 3-0 as well, because he picked up the kills. Has got the Black Cleaver completed now compared to Lamia, 140 CS, so slightly ahead in the CS. Has had to buy that second Doran's Blade. Just keeping my eye on Twisted Fate in the middle there. Has had to back away because I Will Dominate coming out once again towards him, and the pressure continues to be pushed on him, and that middle tower is starting to be a little bit more hampered. Let's have a look towards the top. Voyboy, of course, did just go down to the combo of Shushay and PK, and that has helped out considerably. What is PK doing? I mean, is he saving up for a new large rod? He must be, yeah. 1,300 gold on him at the moment, so you can see he's actually hurting a little bit. He's fell a little bit behind in gold to Cassiopeia. Not a great deal, but Cassiopeia with that Will of the Ancients is just so strong.
We're going to head check out top real quick. Not too much going on. Shushay still semi-pushing that lane, doing what he can. Usually you're going to see a Kennen push a lane a little bit more. He wants to auto-attack to get those up, and it's going to be a pressure here by Voyboy. A little bit of damage there, and his Q actually hit a minion. That would have been some nice damage to trade off. It looks like he lost that one, though. And we're going to go back down to bottom lane. Looks like Nautilus making a move here, but Nocturne is also bottom. No, they have a Vision Ward, so they're going to be able to take that out very nicely. Dragon should be coming up quite soon, actually. So we might see some positioning here. Another ward coming in from Melisande. Very nice job.
Yeah, and Kennen coming down, so it's looking like you were right. I think the Dragon timers are due. You can see that's why I Will Dominate just cleared that out. Kennen making his move. Ping goes down.
Yep,
they know that Kennen's down here. Yeah, and you can see Lee Sin's ported back, so he's heading down. So we're going to get a team fight just as the Dragon spawns. Perfect timing from both teams, as you would expect at a tournament of this level. This is the World Champions here at the Intel Extreme Masters at CBIT in Hanover. And wow, we have so many good games ahead of us, bro.
Yes. So that board right there in Tribush, it looks like they're kind of huddling around it. They want to contest it, but there's a ward they can see bottom, so they know the other team knows they're there. Wild cards coming out from Peke. He is going to try to initiate, but it's on to Locust. The different one takes a lot of damage. The arrow goes out, stuns Corki, slicing Maelstrom out of the hands of Kennen. Will they be able to take this down as Shushay takes way too much damage coming from Skara. Skara staying behind his tanks, doing a very nice job of poisoning and just changed miasma and everything, and they are just systematically taking out Fnatic right now. They have not lost one. The anchor grab onto Melisande as they force Lamia and Melisande apart. 1-1. Will they be able to take out Skara? He still lives, and Skara, sporting that Will of the Ancients, keeps himself and his team alive throughout the entire fight with great help from the support.
Yeah, great help, and really it was just a lack of focus on the targeting, I feel, in there. They just didn't seem to be able to get the right one. The Ash Arrow landed onto Corki, and they thought, great, Nocturne dived on it, followed it in, but the rest of his team couldn't get close because I Will Dominate just put himself as a brick wall between the two, and immediately they've gone straight across. The ping's going down, but Voyboy is going to have that away before anyone gets near. You can see Clairvoyance goes down. Sorry, guys, that will be gone before you get near, and I think he's actually trying to hold it out. He was for I Will Dominate there, but he's had to just take it away instead. So Dignitas now in a big, strong commanding position. 10-5 up in kills. They've managed to take the Dragoner's way in amongst all that fighting as well, so it is really looking good for them. So Fnatic really going to have to pull the socks up here, try and get themselves back into this match.
Looks like they're going to go ahead, clear out the jungle. You'll see both teams going to their respective jungles, getting their buffs, resetting, getting back into the fight. Those buffs are going to respawn in 5 minutes. That awesome dragon fight went down about 19:30, so we're going to see about a 25:30 dragon spawn again. Like I said, at that 20-minute mark, we were going to see a fight, and that's what everybody just moved for. So at 25 minutes, probably going to see that again, and we'll definitely look for it.
And you can see Voyboy coming around the backside of Shushe there on the tower. Tower does go down though, so that's not going to help Voyboy out. He has got the damage though. Ulti kick straight towards the wall. Shushe surely going to go down. Twisting Fate going to come up trying to support him. Instead, Voyboy might actually turn on towards Twisting Fate here. He's going to be able to land the Q. Will he dodge it? You can see he's starting to turn. Does dodge it. Doesn't manage to get a stun card either. It was only a slow card he threw out. I don't think Voyboy's going to be able to tower dive him here. He's going to have a go at it though. Does get stunned on the tower. That's not looking so good. Skara's coming up to support him. Voyboy tries, he flashes and gets away. Very nicely played by Voyboy there in a 2-on-1.
And that is under... Wow, Nocturne out of nowhere. The CV down the Ash Arrow from the bottom of the map. Will they be able to take him out? Skara trying to keep Voyboy alive with a little bit of spell vamp that Voyboy gets for attacking with the Will of the Ancients. That kind of helped a little bit.
That is harsh. Will of the Ancients, OP. So wow, just turns things, and that's how quick the snowball can begin for the Dignitas there. They are looking in a very strong position. This middle tower probably going to go down here. Skara's not wanting to tank that. Meanwhile, down the bottom there, you can see that Corki continued to push as well. So they've eaten up that bottom tower. The middle tower just dropping there. They were pushing on towards the inner turret. You can see they've took half damage off that inner turret down the bottom as well while all that was happening. So it's just not going in Fnatic's favour. Just a couple of team fights, and that's all as quickly as it can be. Dignitas now, they're going to have to throw it.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Is that all you give me there?
I'm just trying to check out the vision wards of the map right now. And that's all they're using is vision wards. These wards are not sight wards, they are vision wards. That one's a sight ward. But yeah, they're actually putting a lot of money out into the map right now instead of what could be an Oracle's. And we'll have to see if anybody grabs that anytime soon. We can see that both teams still have more vision wards to be thrown out. No Oracles there on Nunu. Nothing on Nautilus.
Possible gank attempt on towards Lee Sin. They don't learn. And they have backed away from it. Nocturne was making his way in there and have immediately backed off from that one. So we've got Lichbane just completed by Twisted Fate now. Meanwhile, you can see Kennan's actually putting some pretty strong AP. He's got Will of the Ancients in there, built towards a Rabadon's Death Cap as well. Meanwhile, down the bottom, you can see that Zeal completed alongside trying to build up towards that Phantom Dancer as quick as possible. But frankly, Corki is just going all in damage. We saw it this last game as well. He's got another BF sword stacking in there. He's got Nunu with the Blood Boil. Nunu's going to walk head first into Cyanide here. The pings go down. Yeah, they spotted him. And they're quite aware of the position. They've suddenly realised they're going to have to back away from this one. Twisting Fate's going to port in. Can he get the stun card? He will do. He went on towards IEM Hanover. The Ash Arrow missing actually. And IEM Hanover might be able to just Valkyrie over the top. No, he was completely stun controlled. Locust is also going to go down this one. Skara landing an ulti across there. Nunu trying to put Sub-Zero down. Will it be enough to hold him out there? Will it? The Ancients is just about keeping him alive. And Cyanide will go away. And now this is going to go horribly wrong for Fnatic because Lamia is going to get caught out. Will manage to pop a heal off. Will try and back away. Has he he got that volley to slow them down. No, because I Will Dominate flashing in. That will be Skara picking up the kill, and Ash will go down. So Fnatic throwing all in to get a double kill there, could only get one out of it, and Dignitas playing so good support, spotting the danger on the map straight away and really cutting them off.
Yeah, it was amazing movement by Dignitas to be there in just a second. Fnatic thought they had so much positioning on that, and then out of nowhere you get I Will Dominate, you get Skara, you got a Nunu ulti, and that's really not what you were looking for, like you said, as you think you're going for a double kill.
Yeah, so top lane tower did just go down, so Kennen picking that one up, Shushay up the top there, but that is an inner turret down already, and Dignitas now 15-6, starting to be pretty devastating in these team fights. Looking towards, well, you can see a phase now being completed by Corki, so he really has a pick of what he wants to buy. 510, a lot of gold. Let's just compare the guy, 9,100 gold compared to Ash's 7,400, so yeah, clearly a BF sword ahead in terms of damage. A lot of damage between the two.
That Black Cleaver to hurt so mad. Just a few shots of Black Cleaver, run in there with Gatling and do it again. So, wow, looks like Peke getting taken down quite quick in mid there. Yeah. Just kind of folded on by everybody. He didn't even have a chance. And you can see the rest of Fnatic trying to push out of that around the outside. They weren't even able to get to Peke fast enough to help him. And with that down, they did kind of lose that global ult that can get vision towards the Baron, get them to see the vision wards are down. They don't have to worry about anything here. All they have to worry about is what they can see on the backside. And it's going to be a Shushay. Shushay gets hit up. Locust gives him a little bit of damage there. Some poke. There's that armor being shred by I'm a Cutie Pie, and it looks like he's going to focus on Shushay. Shushay comes in with Slicing Maelstrom, and he will be able to take down Cutie Pie. That was a very big kill there. He does go down, but that may stop them from having enough damage. They do still have a cast, and they still have that Lee Sin, so that's still huge damage on Baron. You're also going to have Consume from Nunu, and they may be able to just get in there and make this happen, but no, they stop Baron once again to go for the fight. A great push out on Locust's ult. Melisande going for Janna ulti to break that. And we are going to see if they can get in this. Dominate staying in there with a low bit of health. And really what that does is you want to kill the person you're looking at, but you see Dominate walk back in with 200 health. Why not focus the tanky guy? Wait, he just turned on his shield. Then you get no kills out of anything. A great kick on Peke back there. Puts him back in the fight after he was the first one to die in that scenario. And as the scenario ends, he's the last one to die.
And he did the traditional teleported in and then went, no, stun card, don't fire at that minion. Oh, and then just jumped straight on that. So very nicely played. Dignitas spotting the danger straight away.
To say, hey, we can't have Baron, we'll take Dragon.
Yeah. And they're quite happy to turn Dragon. You know what? I think they probably could have took Baron as well. They could have done either or. But yeah, I mean, it's just a case of they're trickling into the fight rather than coming in as a 5, and it's just going so badly wrong. And once things start to snowball so heavily, you know, just don't quite have the damage, don't quite have the targets. It is not looking good. Wow, massive amounts of wards being bought out by Nunu there. Locust picking up 5 vision wards in it.
Ooh, Cass just grabbing that needless. That's going to hurt.
Yeah, that and he's got the Rylers already complete in there as well, so Rabadon's death cap nearly complete.
Oh wow, he bought that rod and the blasting wand.
All in one, yeah.
Yeah, that's some cash money.
10-3-5, and just, I mean, just see the difference, 1-7-5 to 10-3-5 between your AP mids. That is a massive difference. Yeah. You know, things when Twisted Fate is very situational, that when it works, it can be so good, but when it doesn't, it can look bad. And it is looking bad at the moment. A little bit of chat between the players here. Wow, okay.
Oh, no. That'll help. It looks like they have a pretty good focus on mid here. A good push. Now, what this allows them to do, they have a little bit of wards, but you can also use minions kind of as wards. They stay in the lane, yes, but if you can push your lanes enough, you can see that the enemies are quite far away. They're farming. They're not going to have enough time. They just used a lot of abilities. They're probably focusing on farming. And right now, they have a little bit of vision, but they have the vision they need to know that this is going to be a contested Baron here, D-Man.
It will be a contested Baron. You can see the volley going across. They're trying to sneak in Ninja in a ward as close as they can. But you know what? That Baron is going down very quickly. So if they're going to go for it, Twisted Fate, Colty comes out, try and get the vision of it. Will they manage to catch on Locust? Is not really the one they want to be going for. They won't be too worried about Locust going down. He's actually still managed to hang on in there. He stole the Baron. Very nice. He does manage to get in. But will they manage to get the kills in time? They have still got a lot of people alive. Skara will go down. That's surely going to be a big kill. Can they manage to get on towards I Will Dominate? The volley goes goes across the Hawk shot as well, but they are going to back away from that one. But very nicely played from Fnatic. That is the sort of play that can turn games. Will it be enough? That's the question. PK is going to continue on, places the ward, really wants to pick up some more kills here. Doesn't really have the chance to, though. And the rest of his team are like, no, really, you should be back taking these towers.
And great job. They are putting a lot of wards right now in the jungle of Dignitas. I think this is the first time they've really had the chance to be in this position. They haven't needed to ward their jungle. They're going to go ahead, start grabbing some global gold for themselves. They're going to go ahead and clear the buffs and deny all that experience for Dignitas. And right now, yeah, what you just said, Fnatic may have turned this around for themselves and definitely put themselves back in this game, if not, gave them the lead.
Absolutely, and they're going to try and steal away every buff they can. Blue buff is almost certainly going to go. So 2 turrets taken down quickly with that Baron buff. They can well want to go back and buy. Let's have a quick look at their cash. Yeah, you can see 2,500 gold sitting on Ash, 1,600 gold on PK. He wants to get his Rabadon's death cap complete. It's just going to have to settle for a simple, needlessly large rod, though.
Yep.
Ash is the one that they need to cover, really. Lamia's going to be the one, obviously we heard, getting a pentakill in the last game,
yeah.
is going to be the one that's going to be able to pull them out of the mire here. He has got that Phantom Dancer and Bloodthirst complete, so possible Infinity Edge building up here, or will he go towards power? I'm not too sure. So it was Ash with new support. Okay, Shirelia's Reverie being picked up now as well by Janna. So really, I mean, just that team fight, you can see the items that they've just all been back and buy. It's just immediately turned their damage up tenfold.
Looks like they're going to have a... No, they're just saying there's a ward there. Make sure you get this ward. just right by the tower. Little free gold, there it is, taking that out. And we have, if you didn't see the game, I believe it wasn't streamed, it was actually Lamia on Ashe as he got his pentakill during his previous game. So, and it was with new support. So that Blood Boil, it kind of helps just a little bit. We're going to see them milling about their jungle, Dignitas. Great job. Bottom turret has been destroyed. Another 150 gold globally given to the team Fnatic. As they push down this lane, they're going to meet 4 members of Dignitas right here, and some of the easiest to turtle a turret. Scar is just going to lay down some explosions, or blasts, if you will, and clear those waves out. But Fnatic not giving up on this. Baron's gone. They have no reason to need to be top. They're going to start focusing their power in certain places.
Yeah, so Fnatic going to push in. Like I said, they've just been back. You know, they've all purchased a few more items. Nocturne's actually going to distract them, because you can see Nocturne actually taking on towards the middle tower here, hammering down on it. That's going to pull these in, and I will sorry, Corki away from it. Meanwhile, they're going to dive on towards the middle tower. You can see the whole team actually chasing on towards Nocturne. I'm going to try and pan across to him as quick as they can, and he's going to be able to get away from that one with lots of health. But the rest of Fnatic managing to rotate straight around, go towards that middle turret. Shushe continuing to hammer away. When Ash is going to get it, that's going to be the first base turret of the game going down. Scar actually eating an Ash arrow in the face there, managing to clear it straight off though, and Shushe will get taken down, trying to lay as much damage as he can. There's a little bit of a misfocused fire though from Fnatic here. This is not what they want to do. They need to manage to get out of this one alive. Melisand's doing his best, but I don't think Voidboy's going to allow him. He has managed to flash out, got the stun on towards Voidboy, but I Will Dominate comes in and keeps Peke away from him, and you can see that Voidboy is going to back away. Twisted Fate going to use his ulti. Can he manage to get him through? Flashes down. I Will Dominate going to get caught out. Very nicely done. Will eventually go down, and Fnatic now will pick up an inhibitor from that. A little bit of a sloppy fight, but
yeah, that was really
favor.
Scary, especially to see the initiation from one of the best initiations in the game, an Ash Arrow, to only be used on a very low health Cassiopeia. Yeah. What that says to another team is that's like the best ult on their team down. Initiate. But then again, they backed off perfectly. They got themselves out of vision and actually turned that around for themselves, as you said, which was a little bit sloppy in the beginning, but they really found out who they needed to attack, and they had some very good focus in that fight.
Yeah, and the right people getting the right amount of gold, and you can see Rabadon's death cap now completed, Infinity Edge now completed. Wow, and suddenly Ashe is looking a dangerous, dangerous proposition, and a mana pot bought. Okay.
Hey, you never know, man. You might be like 155 and your mana's just not going up fast enough and you need to fire an arrow.
Yeah, that's clearly what he's after. So Nocturne pushing through the middle, and that all started from Nocturne just pushing on towards that middle, but now Dignitas, you know, going from such a strong position before that Baron fight, are suddenly like we just lost our inhibitor. What is going on, guys? We need to regroup and sort this out. You know, we saw smiling faces in the bottom corner of your screen earlier on. Now it's not so smiley. They are suddenly into serious mode. Things are having to get a little bit serious, and you can see that now Fnatic, I think for the first time in this game, if I'm not mistaken, picking up their first dragon. Oh, they're going to dive on towards PK. The Ash Arrow actually going across, catching Scara nicely there in the bush, but PK will go down straight away, and amongst that, you can see Monsoon trying to blast him out. So it will be Shushei. Will he manage to catch him? He does, but he's going to be fed to the wolves there, and Dignitas will pick up a double kill and turn things straight around, and that's all come from PK just being caught out of position. And wow, all three of the major carries down at the moment.
Yeah, this is going to be a big push for Dignitas here. They have wave clearing ability, and it looks like Voyboy is saying, look, I got the turret, don't worry about it, let's take it. The minions are going to follow behind. They have a nice minion wave coming down middle as well. This is going to be very good as they come up to this. This will definitely be an inhibitor, and it looks like they're going to take this pretty quickly.
Yeah, you can see this is going to be the second inhibitor of the game, first one for Dignitas. So wow, how tables have turned between this game. It's a very back and forth, and despite the fact it's 26-12, it really doesn't tell the tale of how close this game has been. 5 towers each, inhibitor each. They're going to try and tank this turret up. They need to be careful because Fnatic will be spawning in a moment. There he goes. You can see Lamia's now up. They could easily eat an arrow if they stood on around on that turret, and which is wisely so. They are going to back away from that one. They realise they might even lose this top turret. I'm just going to see what sort of stack is up there. Not quite enough to hammer it down, but it will do a fair chunk of damage. They're going to try and pick up some exit kills here, going with the old FPS style Counter-Strike, trying to pick up some exit frags, but I don't think they're going to be able to get anything. You can see, obviously being such a mobile team with Nocturne, Twisted Fate and Ash Arrow can start things off. They really want to make those picks. It's just not going to happen for them though.
Well, they know the entire team is bottom now. Destiny has been used, so they see Dignitas just kind of milling about bottom, and he will go top quickly, as you said, taking that tower, getting gold for his team. Won't really get much of a backdoor here. He is going to get a little bit of damage, and it looks like we do have pings coming up, and you see the objective spawn. That is going to be for Baron. The arrow is fired. They're going to slow the entire team. No, it just missed everybody. Oh, do they have enough damage? Ash is going to be able to get out a lot here. No stuns or CC can be put down or debuffs onto Baron. They are able to grab it, getting out. Voyboy just a half a second too late with the Q. And it looks like, again, Fnatic able to pick up the second variant of the game. The first contested and stolen. The second one completely theirs. And they have brought this from a 6K deficit now to 3K and have kept themselves in the game with the first inhibitor. Now losing one of their own. This game is just absolutely back and forth, D-Man.
So close as well. 36 minutes into this one, we have seen a lot of kills and a double Baron already. Often, you know, you get these games, sometimes you get to the stage where they'll just hover around and think about a fight for Baron for 10 minutes, but no, not this game. They're getting full-on aggression. They will take that top turret down. That's almost inevitable. So Twisted Fate just, you know, effectively gifted himself as a death to say, look, okay, I'll eat this. If it just delays you for that little bit further up the top there. And they are managing to take the turrets down. 6 turrets apiece as well. Super minions going against each other in the middle lane as well. So neither lane will actually push itself. Oh, Mangers are collapsing on. Oh, they caught out Locust. Twisted Fate coming in. Do it too late. Doesn't matter. Will get the kill though. And that's immediately going to give Fnatic the impetus to push forward. They're in a 4v5. They have to drive this forward. You can see 45-second timer on Locust, which means no Blood Boil for Army Cutie Pie and no annoying slows or Sub-Zeros coming across. And Fnatic are going to try and cash in on this one straight away, charging across the top.
Yeah, they really need to utilize this Baron buff. They did a good job at taking it, then they kind of backed up and reset. They didn't exactly have the force to go ahead with it. So right now, they just got that kill. Locust is down. He has 20 seconds. With this Baron buff, the regeneration it gives you, the amount of damage it gives you is just so exponential. They can hopefully take this turret and then maybe even more, but back off. They want to do this all while the Baron is still on them.
Yeah, the inhibitor has just respawned, so I'd expect them to go for that open inhibitor rather than fight the tower. Obviously try and force the fight away from a tower as well. And it's just a case of whether they're going to be able to handle that Ash Arrow. Can they land it onto Scara, really? You can see Nocturne is sat ready and waiting. They've thrown the ward over the wall as well. They just want to pick him out. So they don't have that annoying ulti in the faces. It can be devastating if landed right. And actually, I've been watching Melissan. Melissan has been massively aggressive, going straight forward, trying to get that Zephyr down, get that slowdown on Scara. It's got to be so careful he doesn't get picked apart, though. And Locust has respawned, so They're going to straight away be back to a 5v5 situation, and now Dignitas realize that they're going to try and push it, and actually Fnatic using that arrow to actually escape there and have to back away. So the Ash arrow no longer available. Voidboy getting a slow on him, but this is going to be a very, very cautious fight. This is going to turn the game.
That was kind of like a collection of two minds. Melisande was like, Shirelias! Oh, I arrowed, sorry. So we'll have to see. The top turret took a good amount of damage, down to 10% of health on that turret. A good backdoor. They have a good minion wave middle. That minion wave top is just about there. Bottom is a huge wave for them, for Dignitas, that is. So if they were able to I can get this. If they were ever able to get out of base, they would be able to get bottom to that turret. But not going to happen. Just Fnatic doing a great job of saying, hey, we're at the front door, we're still knocking, and we're going to stay here.
Yeah, and they're quite happy to do this because they've took that top turret down. Oh, PK's going to have to use his ulti to get away from this one. And actually, he does quite a short one, but he does manage to escape it there. So that top tower is literally on its last legs. There's about 30 health or something left on it. Yeah, 149 health. So one single shot from Lamia will take that down. So Fnatic have the tower advantage almost, and they just wisely backed away from that one, mainly because PK was actually taking down pretty low health already.
Looks like they are going to grab up the buffs here, going to PK. That's going to be very nice. That'll help him with his cooldowns and such. As we said before, the Crest of the Ancient Golem, giving you a cooldown buff or regeneration on your rage, your energy, or your mana. Here they are backing out of the jungle. They are going to be placing a lot of wards. Nothing really in the bottom jungle. The focus is just towards the top right now. You can see how important Baron Nashor is. The objective on the top half of that river is as opposed to Dragon. Dragon was just pinged. Yes, it can still help in this game. Not so much for Dignitas. They have a lot of money. It is still even, but it's really their focus is towards Baron. A lot of Barons have gone towards Fnatic at this point, so they could probably throw a few people bottom and go up for the Baron fight. We'll have to see what they do. It looks like Shushay is just going to grab it for himself. He's going to be like, hey guys, I got this.
Yeah, and total lack of wards as well down there, but they're not too worried. They can see that Dignitas had all backed away. So let's just have a look down the items. See Quicksilver Sash now actually built by Corki and Skara as well on Cassiopeia. So both with that Quicksilver Sash are expected to eat those Ash arrows. They realize they are going to be the targets, and rightly so. That could turn a fight. That is something that they definitely do want to keep an eye on that one. Cleanse and Quicksilver Sash really being very cautious there. Doesn't want to eat the stun card from PK to follow it up, or Shushay's ulti as well, which has been causing problems. So there's a lot of control here, and this is really building against your opponent. That's what they're doing, and you can see, this is the ideal position for the fight. No towers involved. They want to go for it.
Goes off.
Shirelias is used, and well, wisely blocked off straight away as my bottom key decides to lock itself in place. So I'm sorry about that, everyone watching. Random. But, well, Dignitas, they don't have a Shirelias available. Yes, they do, because they have two Shirelias. I Will Dominate's got one, so they could actually chase them down here, because both used to burned up their Shirelias. They could actually, if they get it in the right place, catch someone else. Cyanide getting caught with a slow card there.
That would actually be amazing. They could get in there. If he doesn't get hit by Ash's volley, he's going to slam Randuin's as soon as he gets into the fight. Nobody's going anywhere. Ash can't do much damage.
Oh, they've got
There's the stun up.
There's the ulti.
There's the lockup, but he flashes out. Will he be able to get this? The Ash arrow comes in. Locust taking a lot of damage. The slicing Maelstrom goes off. Getting pushed in. A very nice job again by Melisande, stopping Locust Absolute Zero. And it looks like Dignitas has lost two against the two of Fnatic. Still fighting under the turret. We do see Skara going down as well. I'm a Cutie Pie and Dominate making it out. Very nice fight. A 3-for-3 as it goes back and forth. And doing a very nice job at using that Nautilus ulti to start up the fight. There's not much you could do. You made him flash. The Ash arrow was forced to come out, used in it like an off place, you would say. Everybody was kind of not really near the arrow when it hit. So it was a really good fight to start off, but going 3-for-3, everybody was kind of like, all right, I think we're done now.
And didn't quite get the inhibitor away. They wanted it. Just one more hit, and I think he would have been fodder for I Will Dominate there. I'm a Cutie Pie would have definitely had the damage to deal him and take him straight out there. So wisely backed off, but wow, still very close engaged. 3-for-3 there, and still got to question PK's dive on the tower. I'm not too sure about that one, but he's certainly eating the kills at the moment. 10-2, 2-10-12. It's
right.
It's not nice reading really for a tournament play, but you know what? He's actually doing his job, and he's really just eating the kills and keeping Lamia alive. Really, keeping the focus away from Lamia.
Lamia with a triple kill that last fight. So biting at it just to get that pentakill again. He had one in his previous game, as we said before. So with that Ashe Nunu combination, it's really coming out. We're going to see what they do here. Lamia moving up. They do get a ward up. We're going to see Melisande trying to clear out with the oracles. So no ward there for now. We do see I Will Dominate glowing bright. All 3 elixirs popped on him. Looks like he's got his full build going. They are kind of pushing TF in mid here. They're getting the poke down. They didn't get any damage on him. He does have a Banshee's Veil up. Everybody pretty tanky at this point in the game. We are 44 minutes here into this Dignitas versus Fnatic at your IEM World Championship. Your first day of competition play. We've had a lot of great games. And right now, Dignitas and Fnatic heading out. Both have taken each inhibitor in the mid. Fnatic has had 2 Barons so far. We're looking for the 3rd one. It is now up, so we'll have to see Skara and his team pushed in quite far. This is the way you use your minions as a ward. Get the minions in the enemy base. They may be able to head out for Baron right after this. Yeah, and the Ashe Arrow missing now, just flashing straight past. It doesn't matter because if you're going to a Skara who's got that cleanse, got that Quicksilver Sash, he'd have just been able to clear that straight off. I'm accused by trying to hammer away on that inhibitor and wisely backing away. And, that is the minion wave, and really both teams, they realise that, one big team fight, one big win will be game over for both of them. At this point, for sure. It's so close, though. They're just waiting for that moment. You can see that. Are they going to time the elixirs down? I'm not too sure, but the fact that Skara's even bought Oracle, he's just like, I've got that much money, I just don't know what to buy. Ooh. I Will Dominate catching onto a Cyanide there, last person he wanted to catch, so he's going to be too tanky to do the damage on. But these minions, they're not going to get closer. They're going to have to engage sooner or later. They're just waiting for someone to make that one single step of a mistake. Will it be the blue buff push that they're going for? Their whole shot goes across. They don't have the volley up, though. The Ashe Arrow will be up in a couple of seconds, so they're going to continue on. Will they meant to go around? You can see Twisted Fate's actually taking a different approach here. He's just teleported. He's going for the back door. He's gone towards the inhibitor. He will pick that up. That's going to really free up the Baron, possibly. But I'm not too sure they're going to have the ability to go for it. He's just going to have to port away. He's going to pick up the top tower as well, because that had nothing. He's going for the double back door. Meanwhile, you can see Fnatic trying to keep them occupied. Shusei's been caught out there. I mean, Cutie is going to go down in the match then. Locus is taken down very low as well. You can see Lamia is going to get caught by that ulti from I Will Dominate. Blasted back nicely by Melisandre's Monsoon there. Immediately, Lamia is trying to get hammered down. You can see Skara's getting picked apart by Cyanide. Will they have the damage? Guardian Angel is going to come up from Lamia. They need to deal with him the second he pops, and they do. Good ulti kick there from Locus, and he manages to take it away. Meanwhile, you can see that in the base, PK's been trying his back door. He's took 2 inhibitors down, but they have lost a lot of people, and that's going to be a long respawn time of 60 seconds, and that's going to be time for Dignitas to do a lot of damage in this town. They will be able to hit hard, but they have no minions, which is really good right now for Fnatic. Fnatic's not going to be able to stop them from going into the turrets, but those minions will, so it looks like they are going to be able to kind of save face on this one. They're not going to lose too much of their base, inhibitor for inhibitor, and really Fnatic has won in this outcome so far with the amount of snowballing they can do off the inhibitors they took with what happens in the next few minutes in these minion waves that are about to spawn. Staying on this, just being sticky here to I Will Dominate. Peke keeps going, but he has just too much HP, armor, and magic resistance. That anchor grab is going to give him a cooldown since he did hit terrain, so he will continue to run out of this. He will pop his shield again. There's another anchor grab, but there's the stun. He's going to pop his shield up, try to take less damage. There it is, and they finally give up on I Will Dominate. And that's not exactly what you want to see when you're chasing somebody. It's not, but it's a great bit of play there. You know, Twisted Fate, we've been saying about how many kills he's had, but that back door and he did there really bought them a lot of time. And the fact that he came back, forced, what's the one name? I'm about to Voidboy away. Nearly killed him, managed to kill Locus, and that's just turned it around, so they couldn't push into town, the base. They couldn't take any damage on the inhibitors, and they couldn't get towards Baron, which is what they really should have done there. You see, they are pushing up for it, possibly to get a ward here. They're being very cautious about all the plays they make, but no, they're going to go for it. They say, I'm a cutie pie, has enough damage. We just saw Dominate take a ton of damage, so I believe he's going to be able to take this quite easily. There comes the Hawk Shot out. Hawk Shot will give vision from Ashe's ability, and they are going to start moving in here. Kennen goes in, but he gets knocked up, so the Slicing Maelstrom only going to hit 2 players. Baron goes down, and it looks like it will be going to Fnatic. Again, Fnatic's 3rd Baron of the game, and it looks like it could be one of the finals if they have a big enough wave push here in mid.
You cannot count Fnatic out on land. They've just come back every time. Third Baron and a complete and utter disaster for Dignitas there. They were looking so strong. And, well, I'm not too sure. You've got to question whether they should have gone for Baron there. Were they in that stronger position? And it was actually I Will Dominate that went down first. You know, the one with the most hit points in the whole game.
Yeah.
Just get completely destroyed. And this is looking like Fnatic will take it. There's nothing at all that Dignitas can do about it. The damage going down and the Nexus turret will follow. Fnatic have picked up a victory against Dignitas. Wow, what an amazing game.
That was amazing. We saw Fnatic coming out very short-handed early. They weren't able to do much. And that first Baron one, I said, we said it could have been the turn of the game.
Yeah.
When in reality, people are like, it may not. But what we meant by that is that it leads